Welcome to the Sunshine Parenting Podcast. My name is Audrey Monkey, and I am your host. For more than 3 decades, I've been a summer camp director, and I've had the privilege of working with thousands of children, teenagers, young adult counselors, and parents. I really enjoy sharing stories, tips, and ideas to help others who care about young people raise a generation of kind, self-reliant, optimistic kids who become thriving adults. If you're interested in summer camp, parenting, or happiness, you've come to the right place. In episode 47, I'm talking with several longtime campers about how their camp experiences have impacted their development and growth. You'll hear some camp background noises because we conducted this interview right by the side of the lake with camp activities going on in the background. Enjoy this episode. For this episode of the podcast, I have some mature campers who've been going to camp for a long time. And I've just wanted to ask some of you questions about how you think you've grown or changed because of your time at camp. So why don't you start by just introducing yourself and saying how long you've come to camp so that our listeners will know just your first names and how many years.
I'm Will, and it's my 10th year at camp.
I'm Jackson, and it's my 7th year at camp.
I'm Caroline, and it's my 7th year at camp.
I'm Blake, and it's my 6th year at camp.
Okay, so who wants to start just by sharing maybe just how you've changed or grown because of your time at camp?
I can start. I guess at camp, I've just become a lot more outgoing, and I think I've become more myself in a way because when I'm at home or just in school, I sometimes I'm not fake in a way, but I become a different person because I want to live up to other standards or fit in with other groups. But when I'm at camp, I realize being yourself is the best thing to be, and it just helped me realize all these 10 years at camp, when I'm at home I should be doing the same thing, and if some of my friends don't accept me for that, then I don't want them as friends, and the best friends to have are people that accept you for who you are. So and also I thought just camp is made me a kinder person, I guess, because it's not that I was a mean person when I'm at home, but it showed me how you want to live a positive life and always look at something with a positive angle and not go into something thinking negative, because if you're going to go into activity or activity at camp thinking negatively, then you're not going to have a fun time. But if you go in this can be fun, we can all do this together, then you'll ultimately have a good time with your cabin. So, and you do that at home too.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thanks so much. Who wants to go next?
Okay, I'll go. I will not talk that long, but I have a quick example. When I first came to camp, when music was playing or whatever, I'd be the one or just sitting down, not participating in the dancing. But as I've come back and every year I've kind of started participating more and more. We're now whenever there's music playing, I'm up dancing and having a great time. So I feel camp has definitely helped me grow into just be able to be myself all the time.
Yeah, that's good. So you just in this environment felt more comfortable, or you didn't have to kind of fit into some trying to be cool or something like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What else? Do you guys have anything you want to share about how you've grown or changed?
Yeah, I think that camp has provided me with a new perspective on life, and I think that at camp we can be as carefree as we want to be, and that Will and Jackson both said that we can be who we are without caring about what others think. And I think that what camp has provided me is that with this new perspective, it helps me go back home and also look at a perspective that I shouldn't care about what others think of me at school or just in life in general, and that I should always be proud of who I am.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay.
So camp has a really, really positive atmosphere, and when I first came to camp, I had pretty big anxiety about introducing myself to other people, and so as I went through the years with that camp, I became more and more comfortable with saying who I am, what I do, what I love, and as now as a 6th year camper, I'm perfectly comfortable introducing myself to my cabin mates, and also in the real world, I don't really care if people judge me for who I am because or how I introduce myself, because I know that at least at camp I'll be able to have that positive atmosphere and just the acceptance that I don't always get in the real world, but I'll try to bring that acceptance out into real life.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, Quinn, you just joined us. Awesome. Welcome to the podcast. Glad you're here.
Thank you very much, Sunshine.
What year are you at camp?
This is my third year at camp.
Okay. And how do you think you've kind of changed or benefited from your years at camp?
Well, when I first came to camp, I was like anyone else, scared, unsure if I was gonna have a good time. But after coming here again and again, I became more and more confident about myself and my abilities, what I can do. For example, the high ropes course that we have here, first time I came here, terrified. But over time, as I did again and again, I became less scared of it, and now I'm fully confident that I could do it. Actually, I'm working on it right now while I'm here at camp, so. Yeah.
That's so cool. That's awesome. Thanks. Okay, so shifting gears a little bit. You guys are all in high school, and that's why I want to talk to you in particular, because you've been at camp for a long time and you really know what life is like outside of camp. So what do you think, how is camp life so different from what you experience out in the world? And what are some of the pressures you feel like you're under when you're not at camp that you kind of get away from when you're here?
I'll start again. I think at school, there are a lot of pressures for just fitting in and kind of being the cool kid at school. So, what you wear, how you talk, who you talk to, how you act is, kind of, you're always pressured to be that person. But then at camp, you can be whoever you want to be and, be yourself, like I said before. And also there are, some kids, might pressure you to do things in high school or just, outside in school that you don't want to do, but you feel oh, if I don't do this, they're not going to like me and then I'm not going to have any friends. But at camp, you do what you want to do, and if you don't feel comfortable doing something, then, that's okay. No one cares. Do that. Be yourself. Stay out for a little, hang out, just chill. That's,
So do you feel like it's helped you at all, back at school, being able to say, yeah, I don't really feel like doing that, or I don't want to do that, or I like doing that, or being more owning your own opinions more? Do you feel like you can take that back with you at all?
Yeah, I think that's actually really helped me throughout the years, because I think myself, I've just been able to own my own opinions. If people don't agree with me, that's their opinion. I respect that and hope they respect mine. But I also think I've helped spread it to my friends also, because they've seen he has his own opinions, he doesn't care what others think, so they kind of follow in my footsteps a little because of my life at camp and how I act here. And I think it's just shown them and other kids around me you can be yourself at high school and not care what others think.
That's amazing. Anyone else want to share about pressures?
Aside from just friends and just classmates or whatever, I mean, parents and coaches can also be pushing you too hard, almost just an everyday thing where at practice every day, 3 hours a day, doing the same thing over and over again, it kind of gets tedious, and sometimes you just don't want to do it. So when you come to camp, it's just a great stress relief from all those pressures, I guess. I don't know. Yeah,
that's really good, actually. And even professional athletes and stuff need a break sometimes. And so when you're being pushed so much to do stuff all year round, that's just not right. You need a vacation. It's your job practically. Yeah. So this is kind of your break from all that pressure. Yeah. Just like adults need vacations from their jobs, you guys need a vacation from all of your high school stuff. Okay, how about you?
I think that at home also we are all focused on the future and where life is going to bring us in high school and everything like that, in colleges and applications and stuff. And I think at camp we can not only get away from what Will was talking about, but we can get away from thinking about the future and live more in the moment and learn that to take life for what it is and to really appreciate what you have in the moment, doing different activities every day, and like Quinn said, the high ropes course, and then going kayaking or something like that. I think you learn to appreciate every little thing that you do every day instead of at home thinking about the future.
Yeah, it's so funny. Now there's a name called mindfulness, and all it means is being in the moment, which is people probably used to know how to do, and now we have to have lessons to focus on where we are, or smell. You're supposed to focus on what you hear and what you smell and everything, because we're so distracted when we're not at camp. So that's a really good lesson. Are you able to take that back home at all? Keep it up at all? Living in the moment?
Yeah, I think there are definitely times at home, during the school year, that I will be thinking about the future and not be in the moment. But I think what camp has provided me is that I can fully appreciate every day for what it is and not be like everyone else surrounding me, just always thinking about what's next, just live in the now.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Anyone else have anything you want to share?
So at home, I get a lot of pressure from both my parents but also myself to get good grades, because that's something that's always been important to me. But at camp, I really feel a release from that, because I'm able to just do the activities and focus on what I'm doing now, either like canoeing, pontooning, high ropes. Like I can really be in the now, like mindfulness and all that. And also like it's also like a release from the monotony of school and just kind of everyday life, because like you'll get into a routine usually, and like also it's the end of the school year before summer, so it's really getting kind of burning you out.
Like finals and stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And like camp really is a stress reliever. It does like all sorts of great things for me. Like I just love every part of it, because like it gives me, it's like a vacation. It's like a better vacation than I could even have with like my family, going to some exotic place. Like it's all I need to be.
That's so cool. So do you not worry about grades and stuff while you're here?
No, like I keep my mind, like I don't say anything about school unless it's like where I go, because I try to like keep my mind completely off of it, just so I can have like a good time here.
It's like you walk through the gates of camp and all that stuff is wiped off.
For sure.
Do you have anything to add, Quinn?
Yes, actually. To me, camp is, it's a way for me to start off fresh. Like, whenever I come to camp, I'm always thinking, hey, this is my chance to, try new things, meet new people. And who knows, maybe I'll become, really best friends with them.
Yeah.
You never know when you come to camp.
So anything else that you guys want to share? Like, I think a lot of the parents listening, some of them have younger kids, and a lot of parents worry about their kids coming to camp because there's like discomfort here. And I've tried to explain to parents that that's part of camp. Like, getting an occasional mosquito bite, getting dirty, like the long hike that feels kind of hard and that kind of thing, that it's not just like every moment at camp is great, but it's that you go through all this stuff together and you have this experience and everything. So what words of advice do you have for parents who are just nervous about their kids, like not being able to do camp or, something like that? Like, or maybe talk about when you were little and just how you overcame things and that kind of thing.
Okay, well, I think like camp in general is like a great experience for kids to have, because I came when I was young. I'm pretty sure I started when I was 5 or 6, which was like really young for camp, but I was one of those kind of accident prone kids. Like I always got hurt. I always fall around and like scrape my knee, or like just something pretty bad always happened. But like I'd come back every year because it's a good learning experience in general. And honestly, like if you get like a scrape on your knee or like it's a hard hike, when you're home in reality, like it helps you through other things and helps you get through tougher things there, because you're like, oh, like if I could do that at camp, like I can easily do that here. And then other people can like see you do that and like see the kids be tougher and just have more experience in life. So I think it's like you should definitely send your children to camp.
That's a good promo. Okay. Anyone else want to share about just parents, advice for parents who are nervous about sending their kids to camp?
I think it'll be hard at first, and I think it'll also be hard for the kids because it could be their first time. But I think it's good for them because the parents will realize when the kids come back for however long they were gone that they're a completely new person, and they have grown so much, and they have probably become more confident just because they have gone to camp, and that camp is a place where you can learn lessons that you can't learn in school and you can't learn at home, and that it's necessary for a kid to grow.
Yeah. Anyone else?
So like at camp, it's inevitable that like you're gonna get hurt in some way, but like a lot about it is how you bounce back from it. Like finding like the negative is negative, but like going up the hill and finding a even better peak than where you were before, because like it's all about like bouncing back and like finding the positives even in the negatives.
Yeah, that's amazing. Anything else? All right. So I had one more question. I was just thinking what it was. Oh, I know. So you guys are going into your last year of high school, and soon you'll be going to college. And I don't know if you're aware that 20% of kids don't make it through their first year of college away from home because they end up coming home because it's either they just haven't been used to that kind of independence. How do you think camp has helped you be able to do things, not just college, but other things that are away from home? Like, how do you feel like you are able to do more or be more independent because of your time that you've spent here at camp?
I think camp in general kind of just helps you all around with your skills, like social skills and being independent, because certain camps, depends like on which camp, how long you go for. So say like a session is 2 weeks long, it kind of pushes you to like make those friends and like do those things in that short amount of 2 weeks, and it kind of shows you like how you can do these things and be independent in such a short time. So it kind of helps you like develop those skills even stronger, and then when you go to college, and if you go like you went to camp, you're like, oh, like I've done this before, I can do this, like I did it in 2 weeks, I can do it now, like I can like be independent, I can make new friends, I can be dedicated to my schoolwork on my own, like without my parents. And I just think it's like you learn really good skills here at camp.
Yeah, I think they're doing some research right now, and I think they're showing that it really does have a positive impact on just kind of adulthood, just having some independent experiences earlier on. And like you said, 2 weeks in the big scheme of things is not very long. Seems long to kids and parents sometimes, but it actually goes fast, and kids feel such so confident after doing that. Anyone else have anything to share while we wrap up this episode?
So in camp, a lot of your choices, like you have counselors, but a lot of your choices are made by you. So like one of the things that I've given an example of is eating healthy. Like a lot of kids I know in college end up eating like nothing but top ramen, like that's what my brother does. But like at camp, like it's really learning how to make the choices for yourself that will benefit you like in the future, and like whether your counselors are there or your parents are there or not, like you'll be able to like know what to do and like know what's right, because like you've gone to camp. Like I hated salad like since I was a little kid, but like after these past 6 years, like I go to the salad bar every day at lunch and dinner, and it's like one of my favorite things at camp. Like at the dining porch, I love it.
That's amazing. I never even thought about that, but that is really true. Like learning to make choices on your own is kind of a critical adult skill, because otherwise you're just going to be letting other people make choices for you, which generally leads you down bad roads if you're just going with whatever other people are telling you to do. So, well, thanks so much for joining me for this. This was really fun. You guys have some really great insights, and I thank you for joining me for this episode of the podcast.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed listening to these amazing teenagers as much as I enjoyed talking with them about their camp experiences. For notes, links, and more information about summer camp, visit my website at sunshine-parenting.com and search for episode 47. I'll leave you with the words of a first-time camp parent. My shy, quiet 9-year-old went to camp not knowing a soul. 2 weeks later, she came home transformed. She blossomed. She made friends, learned a multitude of activities, felt safe, loved, confident, and happy. Really, really happy. As hard as it was on me, it was all worth it for her. It was the single best thing I have ever done for her.
This podcast is a proud member of Parents on Demand, a network of high-quality shows for families just like yours. Download our free network app on Apple and Android and listen to your favorite episodes on the go.